Wow, so I haven't made a video yet. It's been like almost a month. But this is a little bit about the Primal Diet Conference, the inaugural Primal Diet Conference. It was a fantastic event, spectacular event. It was so great meeting everybody from all over the country, 35 people from all over the country who came out on not much less than a whim of a notice to support us and to learn, to share food, and just have a good time. And it was so great meeting people who were on the diet for, 13, 15, 20 plus years, because we're all doing this, and we don't have there's no long-term people, maybe besides Derek Nance, but he's like kind of on the primal diet, but not like, he doesn't do, I don't know, but I know he eats raw, and he's been eating raw for a long time, and he's probably like the best example of somebody out there people could look up and see what eating raw long term is for your health. But seeing people in person, it really is a lot, it's a lot more meaningful. Seeing some of these people who've been on the diet for so long, and at different ages, people in their 40s, their 50s, their 60s, people even reaching their 70s, that was really encouraging, because you're doing this, it's almost on a leap of faith, because you don't know, you don't really know. But now, I met people, and I know that it's worth it to keep doing this. And I talked to quite a few people who said after the conference, they said, yeah, you know what, I'm going to be more serious about the diet. This reinvigorated my spirit and interest and commitment to the diet, and I'm going to go back home and I'm going to do the diet better. And even someone brought their partner along. A woman brought her man along, and he was like 20-30% eating raw, and he said, yeah, I'm going to go back home and I'm going to start eating this way. I'm going to give it a shot. And so that was really great, yeah, it's like the proof's in the pudding, and you can see it at this conference. And hopefully as time goes on and people network and communicate more, there will be, we'll have more regular meetups and opportunities for everybody to get together in different regions of the country. So that will be nice too. But yeah, the conference for me, well, I just say all the organizers were very elated and surprised with the turnout. We thought we'd maybe get 7, 8, 10, maybe 12 people. And we ended up with 35 people. Like I said, 35 people from all over the country. And it was pretty neat to see, because there were people from the same city, and they live very close to each other, and they never knew that. They never knew it. And here they are, they're both on the diet, or they're interested in the diet, or they're partially on it. I forget exactly what, but that was pretty cool to see. So now it's like, oh yeah, 2 people in real life. They didn't know each other, but now they know each other, and they were like right next to each other. It's crazy. Quite a few people from California, which is pretty cool. And hearing about, the diet scene there and the food there. And apparently there's this guy who makes primal diet recipes. His name's Frank or something. And he guards, it's secret recipes. He doesn't give them out, but he apparently makes the best primal diet food. It's pretty pricey, but I guess, you pay for what it's worth. I'd probably pay to try it. It's probably freaking amazing. But yeah, you just hear little stories like that, and listening to Jeff Slay talk about his experiences with Augenus, both at his presentation and outside of his presentation, just talking with him was really cool. And getting kudos from all those people who knew Augenus, have been on the diet a long time, saying, yeah, your stuff, you did a good job, and this conference was great. Thanks for helping organizing it. that was really great to hear too. That made it worth it too. And everybody else, like I said, more people were committed to the diet after coming to this conference, and everybody had a great time. We didn't have I don't want to say it wasn't negative feedback. I guess in terms of not I guess suggestions for improvement was make it another day, because we did have a lot going on, and there really wasn't a lot of time for people to take a break, much less like me take a break. I didn't really get too much time to eat a meal until like supper time, until all the classes were over and everything kind of widened down. But even then, still, I was running around making sure people were comfortable and they had what they needed, and I was in charge of the organs and stuff, as well as the blood and the milk, making sure everybody got a fair ration who wanted to try. And I brought my high meat. It was 2.5 years old. We are starting a tradition. We fermented some lamb meat and lamb liver that we slaughtered and harvested. I'm in charge of that. And next year we're going to have the liver from last year's conference at next year's conference, and then we will make more high meat from next year's conference for the following year's conference, and so on and so forth. That's going to be a tradition. I think that was Sam's idea. Anyway, it was someone's idea. We were talking about all this, but anyway, it's a good idea, and I'm looking forward to that. The lamb we slaughtered, I'll just say, I'm not a big lamb guy, but it was the most delicious piece of meat I've ever eaten in my entire life. We slaughtered it on Friday, let it sit for a day, and it was so tender, and it was sweet almost, and it was amazing. It was so good. It was the best meat I've ever had. Totally worth it. Totally awesome. And the other food we had, there was chicken and turkey and beef and pork, and different dishes like Thai turkey and honey lemon chicken. We had beef carpaccio. A lot of these recipes are from the book, so like people who weren't on the diet or new to the diet, they could try something there, and they could see, oh, this was this recipe on this page, and I like that, and I'll go try that when I get home. We had cheesecakes and ambrosia pies. I didn't get to try any of the ambrosia pies because they were gone before I could try them, because they were so good. The cheesecakes were excellent. We had like 5 gallons of ice cream. We had vanilla, peach, and blackberry. I brought the peaches and the blackberries. Very good. We also had ton of vegetable juice, gallons of vegetable juice, and lemonade. We had a dairy bar, buttermilk, yogurt, kefir, cream, sour cream, raw milk. We had giant igloo coolers full of raw milk, full of butter, like individually, like milk cooler, butter cooler. I think we had 2 milk coolers, cream cooler, and then we had smaller coolers for the kefir and the yogurts. And then all the lamb, and we had like way too much food. The one thing we didn't have enough of was eggs, which are kind of hard to source. But next year we know more eggs, and pretty much everything else we had, because we're gonna have more people next year. I'm pretty sure will probably be sufficient. So yeah, the food was amazing. The classes were great. I learned a lot. I think everybody learned a lot from the long timers, and they had a Q&A panel which I helped moderate, and there was like Phoenix gave 3 or 4 classes, and Kim Williams, she gave her class on detoxifying your home and your life, basically. And she's got a really great story, a lot of really great stories in general, and experiences and knowledge. And she talks about a lot of things like beyond just diet, which I think is really helpful, because, and I've said it before too, but just like a diet isn't going to fix your life. There's other aspects to that. Not that diet isn't a big part of that. I'm not saying that's not important, but it's it's a piece of it, and there are other pieces, and you got to be mindful of that. The farm tour was really cool. Beautiful farm, just fences and rolling hills and green pastures for all these animals. It was really cool to see there was a lamb, and the farmer John, the Amish farmer, he was telling us that there was a this lamb was shunned by the mom and the herd, and it ended up with the pigs. Because I saw pigs grazing, I saw a sheep or a lamb out with these pigs, and they would try to reintroduce the lamb back to the herd of the sheep, but it kept breaking out and going back to the pigs. So they just let the lamb live with the pigs now, because the pigs took in this poor little guy when the sheep didn't want it. So that was a pretty cool story. It was pretty cute to see. Wasn't the lamb we ate, but yeah, that lamb was good. Like I said, the best meat I've ever had. I wish I got to talk to more people. I wish that, well, it's not that I talked to more people, it's just I had more time to talk to people, because I was very busy running around and making sure everything had what they needed, and making vegetable juice, and cleaning up dishes, you know, making sure stuff was running on schedule. So yeah, it was, like I said, it was a lot of work, but it was worth it. And I think next year, you know, it'll probably be 4 days. Don't quote me on that, but everybody kind of agreed 3 days wasn't enough. That was some of the feedback we got, the suggestions for improvement. And we want to have more activities too, like hands-on activities and stuff outside. You know, maybe some like farm classes, a milking class. Maybe maybe some of the Amish might give something on a, you know, I don't know about woodworking, but possibly sewing, or like some, you know, just some handicraft skills, some handy skills that you could give a class on and learn something from. You know, more than just diet stuff. That'll obviously be a component, but having some different skills you can learn and be introduced to, we think that would be a great opportunity, and it's something people suggested that they might like to do. So, you know, next year we want to have create a better, I think with more time. We did put this on very quick. Like I said, we were very elated and surprised that 35 people showed up with a month and a half notice, and that's amazing. So next year, like, there may even be a cap on this. So when it gets announced, make sure you sign up, or you mark your calendars or whatever, because I don't know that it's going to be like an unlimited sort of deal. Like, there's going to be a limited number of spaces because of logistical constraints and things. We want to try to contact some places that can offer, you know, like having what is it? A block, like conventions will have a block of hotels or something, or a block of rooms. That way people can have more time to have community talks outside of the conference times, and people don't have to drive all over everywhere to different places. That was something we couldn't coordinate because of things being kind of last minute and not sure what the turnout was going to be like. So, you know, next year's going to be the first annual conference. It's going to be even better. Like I said, it's probably going to be 4 days. I'm looking forward to it. We're already going to start planning it. Probably next month, we're probably going to start tossing ideas around and get a date set, maybe before the end of the year. So you'll be able to mark your calendars well in advance. And yeah, it just was such a great time, and the food was so awesome, and the people were so great, and everybody's feedback was great. It was encouraging. Pulling the event off, it was so great. Yeah, I can't wait for next year. If you were there and you're watching this, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for being really cool. And I know you had, I don't have to hope you had, I know you had a great time. So I don't have to say anything else, but yeah, next year's going to be great. If you didn't make it last year, I hope you can make it next year. And if you were there last year, again, I hope to see you again. And yeah, it'll be so great. I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you have any other suggestions, you know, that maybe you've forgotten your feedback if you were there, or maybe things you want to see at the Primal conference, let me know here, and I'll get it locked in, and we'll see if that's a good fit or not. And when we announce the next one, you'll see what's going on. So I just wanted to say that and thank you again. And almost at 1,000 subscribers. That's pretty cool. So yeah, it's great. Everything's great. Except I'm still waiting on a detox. It's been a few months, so it's almost about that time. I'm not really looking forward to that. Besides that, everything else is pretty good right now. Just outside enjoying the weather, and I'm drinking a hydration formula. Just a bit of Primal Diet info. You don't have to make a sport formula like they say. This is just basically a sport formula recipe with a little more cucumber, no lemon or lime, and no water. It's just eggs, cucumber, tomato, honey, couple berries, no dairy, just eggs, because I'm out of cream, waiting on a calving so they can start milking another cow again. So yeah, that's what I got today, and it's still great. It's still hydrating. A little apple cider vinegar in there, because the berries, the eggs, and the apple cider vinegar, good for getting the metals out. So yeah, that's about all, and I'm so excited for next year. It's going to be great. I hope to see you guys there. Take care.